Springfield Prodigy 4¼ inch. Last week we were out here, we put the first 100 rounds through this gun. This week we're going to continue to see if it's reliable. Let's find out. First 20 rounds went well. Welcome back to Sawteeth Tactical. The Springfield Prodigy is quickly becoming my favorite gun. And is it reliable though? That seems to be the big thing since these Prodigies came out. I've seen a lot of content on YouTube where people have been having problems with them. And although I really wanted one, when they first came out, I wanted to get into a 2011 and it seemed like the only affordable way to do so. I was, nervous about it because of all the stuff that I'd seen online about them not being reliable. So I want to make this video and I'm going to continue to update videos on this Springfield Prodigy and show you guys if they're reliable or not. But before we get started on this one, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell. So it snowed another foot yesterday, but at least it's a beautiful sunny day today, and I just had to get out here and keep testing this Prodigy. Good so far. As I said in the intro, this is quickly becoming my favorite pistol. It shoots so soft, it's very accurate, it's very fast. It's what a 2011 style pistol should be. I love 1911s, as you guys have seen from many of my past videos, but the capacity is kind of a deal breaker for me when it comes to serious use. Well, the 2011 double stack 1911 cures that problem by giving you, 20 round magazines. In fact, even optional 26 round magazines. So it's something that I want to make it like my go-to pistol, my home defense, my bedside gun. But in order for it to be considered as such, it has to be reliable. That reliability trumps everything else in my opinion, because if you do ever have to use that gun, you need to know that it's going to work when you need it to. So my bedside pistol for the longest time has been my Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. And this gun is the definition of reliable. It's boringly reliable. It just plain works. And so I've spent money on it. I've upgraded the trigger, red dot, Cerakote, light, to make it exactly what I want it to be. And I love this pistol. It's a great gun. This is another gun that could be considered the bedside gun, the go-to. It's a, Gen 3 Glock clone. Glocks, this platform is known for reliability. So again, upgraded this one. Trigger, light, optic, all that stuff. Threaded barrel, I could put a suppressor on this or a comp if I wanted to. Another great option for that go-to pistol. But neither of them shoot like this does. A gun like this will spoil you. The very first time I took this out, last week, right after I just bought it, I put 100 rounds through this, and then I put 50 rounds through my previously favorite pistol, and this pistol felt like junk compared to shooting this. This thing is just so smooth. The recoil impulse is so light. It comes back on target so fast after every shot. It really is just a pleasure to shoot. But again, is it reliable? So far, I love the way this Springfield Prodigy shoots. It's just really smooth, really soft recoiling, really fast, accurate. But it's very important to me to test it and make sure it's reliable. So that's what we're going to be doing these next few weeks. So far, so good. So far, so good. So far, it is very reliable. I have put 200 rounds through it now. 100 rounds the first weekend after I bought it. In fact, the day after I bought it. And I put another 100 rounds through it today. And not a single hiccup both times. So far, 200 rounds, perfectly reliable. And so I'm hoping that it continues to go that way. Now, I do have a theory as to why, I have two theories as to why people maybe have had reliability issues with these. Number one theory is when the gun was brand new, first on the market, maybe there were some things that Springfield had to work out on them. There might have been some legitimate problems. You know, I've heard that the chamber needed to be reamed on a lot of people's guns. They had a problem with the slide catching on the disconnector, which I had that same exact problem with my Springfield Ronin, which is a 9mm 1911. So that is very believable to me. Now this gun, after a long break-in period, many hundreds of rounds, and polishing the disconnector and the bottom of the slide where it rides over that, it doesn't have that problem anymore. But it did take a lot of work and a lot of rounds to get it reliable, which, because of that, I still don't quite trust it the way I trust like my M&P, for instance. And for my go-to bedside gun, I need to be able to trust it. So I was a little bit nervous when I finally went to buy this Prodigy, because I didn't want to go through the same stuff that I went through with that one and not be able to trust it. So I've been very, very happy that so far it's been perfectly reliable. First 200 rounds in, not a single issue. So the Prodigy comes with a 17 and a 20 round magazine. So here's the 20 rounder. I love it. So far, I've been running AAC 124 grain through it. I have some 115 grain and some 147 grain in the safe right now. So I'm gonna put around both of those, weights through it too. Want to be able to make sure it's gonna run everything. And once I get the optic on it and I've decided that it is reliable with standard ball rounds, I'm gonna run whichever hollow points that I decide to keep in it, run them at least a couple mags of those through them too, make sure that they feed and cycle. You need to do that with any weapon that you're going to use in any defensive capacity, whether that's your concealed carry gun, your bedside gun. Make sure that it cycles and feeds whichever defensive ammo you're going to use, because some guns will feed full metal jackets just fine. They've got a round nose on them. They feed very easily, but they might have a problem cycling reliably certain hollow points. So maybe they don't cycle one, try a different one, find one that does work for it before you trust that ammo in that gun. And of course, I will do the same thing with this one. And a 17 round magazine. This is AAC 124 grain, and the Prodigy seems to like this ammo quite a bit. All good so far. So for it to become my go-to pistol, obviously it's going to need a few things that I put on my go-to pistols. I've already got the light for it, Streamlight TLR1 HL. I have come to trust this light very well. I have it on multiple handguns. I really like the way that the buttons are actuated. And in fact, on a 1911 style, the trigger guard is smaller, so the buttons are actually closer, or the paddles are closer to your finger on this one. Makes it very easy to actuate with my offhand while my finger's on the trigger, which is really nice. So if you're wondering what kind of light to get for this, I know most people are running Surefire X300s, And those are fantastic lights as well. Plus they look really good. But I have been very happy with the Streamlight, and it's going to cost you about half as much as a Surefire does. Surefire is like $300. This is about $150, and it works great. So I'm going to run Streamlight on it because I already trust that light. I know it well. I've got no issues with it whatsoever. This is my third one. Not my third Streamlight, my fourth Streamlight, but my third TLR1 HL. I think they're fantastic. I'm also going to put an optic on this. I finally was able to find the A14B optic plate. I want to thank someone in a HoloSun Optics Facebook group. I made a post that I couldn't find those, and he turned me on to a website called Native Outdoors. I went on there. They were the only place literally on the whole internet that had the A14 plate in stock. That's the one for the RMR or the 507C style optic. And so I ordered it, and apparently they only had one because it was out of stock after I ordered that one. Shipping was very fast. I got it right away. In fact, I ordered the actual red dot at the same time once I found this. And the plate obviously came before the red dot, or else that would be on the pistol. And it's not yet. So hopefully I will have the red dot on this by next week. We will do another update video on this next week as well. And once I've got it all set up, you know, red dot and light, the things that I always talk about that I feel like are necessary for a home defense pistol, that's when we'll try to run some defensive ammo through it, make sure it's good on that. And I'm going to continue to make videos just to keep you guys in the loop as to if this thing is reliable. 200 rounds so far without a hiccup. Let's see if it keeps going. Seems reliable to me. So my second theory as to why maybe a lot of people have been having problems with these is that maybe they are not familiar with the 1911 platform and the kind of maintenance that needs to be done on a 1911 that you can kind of forego on like a Glock or most polymer pistols. So something like a Glock will run very reliably with minimum lubrication and even minimal cleaning. You can put thousands of rounds through them, run them very dirty, very dry, and they'll continue to be reliable, which is probably the best thing about that kind of gun. Well, 1911s are not quite that way. They're built with much tighter tolerances. They are very precise guns compared to something like a Glock. And so they require a little more maintenance. I clean the 1911 after every time I take it to the range, and I re-oil it. And that way, I know that it's going to continue to be reliable. And that is one of those things, if you want to get into a 1911, 2011 type platform, you do have to be prepared to do a little bit more maintenance on it. I've got no problem with that. I think it's nice to be able to take your gun apart after a range trip anyway, double check all the parts, make sure that there's nothing getting premature wear or nicks or breaks or any issues. You know, it's just good to see that stuff as it's happening. Make sure that your gun is all good. Plus, if it's clean and it's re-oiled, you know that it's going to work the next time you need to use it. So that's kind of where my theory comes in, is I just wonder how many of these people that have had problems with these are just taking them out of the box and running them dry, dirty, and that's maybe why they're having issues. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but that could be part of it. So I hope this video is informative to you guys. If you're thinking about getting one of these, I am extremely happy with the Prodigy 1911 DS from Springfield Armory so far. It is my favorite pistol to shoot at this point. As long as it remains reliable, it will become my next go-to bedside gun. And I want to be able to continue to inform you guys so that you can be confident in your choice if you're looking into purchasing one of these. Because if you're anything like me and you've wanted a 2011 for some time, this is a very attractive option when it comes to being able to get into a 2011 without spending $3, $4, $5, $6, even more $1,000. You can get into this with a light and an optic a good lightning optic for around $2,000 or just a little more, which I know that sounds like a lot for a pistol, but for a 2011, that's actually very affordable. And believe me when I say, after shooting just 200 rounds through this so far, it is worth it. The thing shoots like a dream. It's a fantastic gun. And I'm just going to continue to make videos, let you guys know if it continues to be reliable, and if it does, this will be the one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, comment, share. Let me know if you've got a Prodigy yet, or what kind of gun that you run as your go-to, like bedside home defense pistol. I respond to every comment, and I love to hear from you guys. From Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.